Okay, there we are. There, I should close. Anyways, anyhow. Okay, so technically I'm calling this Title 2 um, because if you remember, uh, there's going to be four sections at the four schools that both John and Hubert goes to. And to facilitate that, I'm going to turn these into separate titles. So instead of Title 2 being at the end, um, it's going to be it's going to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 like that. So rename that to T2. And that T2, T0. And that's okay. Search for clues, right? This is going to be T3, 0. It's going to be T3. This one, rename this T4, T0. Uh, rename this T5, T0. And we're going to rename this. Wait, rename this one. T6. Okay, so that's because I'm gonna have pages under these. So now search for clues is just gonna go directly to this. This is the intro page, however you want to say it, whatever you want to say. Uh, this is the thing that gets them going. Hebert tells them what to do and sends them off. Okay, and then these are investigating each of the different deals. Um, so search for clues is just a search for what's going on with the schools. John becomes a knight, which means he goes to night school. A princess is missing, which is concerns the. Okay, let me think for a second. Oh, that right, Princess Prep. So a princess is missing is literally about the princess missing. Okay, and then Heber's Old Flame is about Fairy God College, where basically Hebert talks to someone he used to know in Fairy God College as she's being kept a prisoner, along with the other vacation princesses or vacation fairy godmothers. Um, and I call them vacation fairy godmothers is because the idea is this is a tourist resort, and anybody that's wealthy enough can actually come and relive some of their fantasies. Like if you wanted to be a fairy godmother or a princess or a knight or whatever. Um, guess who's back in town is where we find out that Max is back in town. He was the guy that was banished previously. And then Rendezvous with the Renaissance is where they come back together um, to share their information. I wish there's a word that I keep thinking of, which is what you do when you come back together to share the information that you learned. But I can't think of it right now. Anyways, so I have to change those. I actually have to. Let's see. Um, yeah, let's just let's open all these up at the same time. There. Open text editor. A search for clues. And this is actually going to be T2P0. So I have to change that. And forget the stream text thing. Then right T2P0. So this is also going to be T2 P0, and this is going to be T3P0. So we go over to T3P0, and we change this to T4P0, right? And then we change this to T4P0, and then we do this T5P0, save it, and we go to this, which is T5P0. So this is T5P0, and this one goes to not T51, T5P0. This goes to T6P0, and this is going to be also T6P0. Okay. All right, that works. We're going to go ahead and close. I'm going to go close all these. This is to make sure that it flows together correctly. Let me see for a quick second. Okay, I'm not gonna worry about this until I now we're gonna go back into old rooms here, and right, manually retitle pages within the JSON files. So I'm gonna go through each one of these, and I'm gonna create a unique let me think for a second. Okay, I'm gonna create a unique title for each, and then we'll have ChatGPT write us a Python script that will update all the titles accordingly. So, without further ado, let's pop this up. Oh yeah, so I'm gonna make sure everything is done before I move on to the next section or the next title. So after we do this, and after we get the script that renames it, and then fixes the the title field, changes the label, and then adds the chapter field, then I'm going to actively work on shrinking down the pages to about half, so we don't have so many pages. I mean, that's kind of the point of doing this. You know, I'm not just copying the old one just directly. I mean, I did those first two times, but in this one, it might mean that there's 80 pages or something total of stuff, and I don't want it to be that big. I want it to be shorter, kind of on purpose. Still going to be bigger than other chapters though, but each segment shouldn't be maybe more than 10, maybe less than 10, but certainly no more than 10, so that uh, the max I have is about 40, 30 something or 40 sort of thing. Um, 8 times 4, let's see, 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 4 is 32. Is that right? Yeah, 32. Huh. I don't know how that's going to work out. Well, I'll just make something work. It doesn't really matter. They're not going to be exactly the same amount anyways. But we'll see here in just a second. Okay, so let's open this in text editor. Okay. Very good. Oh, Here, let me do something real quick. Here, blank it on purpose. Just give me a quick second while I start Discord and IRC. That's partially why I created this scene, this space left intentionally blank, so I could just quickly do something where it's not on camera or not on screen or whatever. Not on desktop, whatever you want to call it, say whatever. Opinion corner. Where is? Wait a second. Where is It's just a moment. Uh oh. Huh. Okay. Opinion corner. What is it? The heck is opinion corner? Unity course. Okay, let's go back to my deal. Um, just a second. I'm just making sure that. Okay. No, it's just either general. General. Okay, and let's go back to I'm streaming. All right, I'm just making sure everything's kind of up to date and stuff. Um, and streaming. No one cares. Not really advertising, but I am. Right now. Okay. I'm not really advertising. I'm not really here. Let's move this over. Okay, let's put the desktop back. Okay, there I am. There we are. Apologies. Uh it's kind of a weird thing about the streaming too. Because what people tend to do, I guess even I might even do that myself sometimes. But they'll see for just a few seconds, they'll see something that doesn't jive with what they think they should get on it, and they don't wait. They don't go like, well, maybe he's gonna come back in a second, So they just leave. Like I just had four on there. Now it might have very good reason to leave. I don't care if you don't like it. You don't have to watch or whatever. It's fine. I just mean so I'm looking and there are four viewers up there, and then when I have the this page intentionally left blank, of course now it's back down to three. And I'm wondering, is that just because I put that little blank thing up there and they were too impatient to wait for it? I don't know. Would like to find a way of getting more viewers though. But I guess I have to wait until I have something really interesting to show. Like I was still gonna go ahead and try to start doing the sketching thing, right? I have to do these basically like to get my control back. I have to use like warm up exercises. In fact, I'll have to do them for for a few weeks, maybe a couple months. I don't know really how long it'll take me, but and before I can do that, I have to have time at night. Like it would be good if Dad went to bed at around 9, and sometimes he does, but lately he's been staying up late, and so but if he goes to bed at 9, that means I can come in here and I can come in around 9:30, and then I can do, let's say, an hour of sketching, and then I can take my shower at night and before I go to bed. Um, but So yeah, so he has to go to bed early consistently enough that I can come in here and do my thing. And then if I can do that, then I can spend an hour every night or 40 minutes, 45 minutes, doesn't really matter. Just pick a time, half an hour even. And I have to do my practicing and then I'll record it and then I'll just like play it in the background. Oh, hey, Greggy. Welcome to the stream. Um, I'm just explaining what I'm gonna try to get into later, which is I'm gonna try to here I'm gonna say hey in the chat too, just so that it looks like I'm actually actively participating in the chat as well. Anyways, so I was just explaining that I'm gonna try to get to a point where I can like do some sketching at night and then record it, and then I can play it on in the background while I'm doing this other boring tech stuff. Because it's gonna be a little while before I actually get to any visuals, you know. So I have to start getting my drawing down now. Anyways, right now what I'm doing is I'm going through each of these. Okay, so I don't know if you saw, but each of these files is actually from the old version. I don't even know if Greggy or you or anybody else watching, if you guys knew what I was doing before. So here, I can actually just go ahead and start. We'll go into favorites. We'll start two instances uh, of Enchanted Lands. I'll show you the older one. This is the older phase one, which I only got to about 17, 18% before I decided to redo it. And I'm getting up to speed within like, a few weeks, whereas this took, 9 months, 6 months, 9 months, maybe, to get all of these. And there's a ton of pages there. So um, let's see if I can find out where I'm at now. That's Wizard U. I'm not there yet. Um, that's that's in this chapter though. But let's see which one this one should be. No, this is Lapswood. Wait. Let me find it. Let me find it. No, that's doggone it. Where's where's the thing? I'm looking for the thing. Lapswood Edge. No, I'm not looking for Lapswood. Night School. There we go. Night School entrance. Night School entrance. Uh, Night School entrance 1 leads to door. Leads to what? Oh, that's the entrance. Never mind. Forgive me for unsending. Okay, so all of this is all of these here concern here, right here. All these concern. I guess can't do it that way. Do it visually so you can see it. All of these concerned night school. And so these are old ones, and to be able to incorporate it into my new phase here, or my new whatever reboot, whatever you want to call it. Here, we're gonna open another instance here. It didn't do it, did it? Okay, there we go. And we're gonna open the current iteration, not the old one. And the current iteration looks like this. It'll show it. Okay. And the reason that these are these are like this is because I have to do these in sections. So when I actually bring in these old wait, let's go wait. See something here first. Oh. Wait a second. Oh, that's right. Okay. There we go. I forgot. I renamed these. I just renamed these just a few minutes ago, and they're all showing up the same place. And then this is T. Okay. Anyways, the reason that these are all like stretched out like all over the place is because I have 4 different like sections to go through, and I don't want them to really interfere with each other because I'm actually going to put. Okay, that's fine, and then that's fine. Search for clues. And I just want them super distant so that when I bring in these other deals, I can pop them into place and then I can rearrange it visually. So this is not even a big deal. It just looks funky right now because I'm working on it. Okay, so I'm incorporating my old files into. Let's go back here. I'm incorporating these old files, and these have been renamed so far. So, but I'm still in the renaming process. So basically, okay. So step one was to manually rename the prefixes, which I did. These are all the prefixes are renamed here. Um, and actually, these should all be. Yeah, I forgot. I gotta rename those too. I gotta fix them to be T2. They ought to be T2, I think. That's right. That's right. That's right. Um. Oh, there's something I didn't figure on. Okay. All these have got to be renamed T2 now. I can do a script, but I think I'll have to. I think I'll have to do it manually. So yeah. Let's do this first. Let's rename it in here. Rename this because this is now Title 2, not Title 1. So let's find T1 and replace it with T2. That. Rename. Okay. I'm going to select all of them. Let's go back in the rooms to make sure I'm sure. Where is chapter 3? Chapter 3. Okay. T2, John becomes a knight. So that's the one we're working on right now. Okay. So so now I have to go back through each of these and fix all of them. And I can do that real quick with I could just do a find and replace real quick. So wait a sec. Whoa, wait a second. Why? What's going on here? Why is this out of this in this weird order? What? I didn't tell it to change. P0, P0, T2. That's supposed to be 20. Why is that? Suppose that. I can't undo a mass rename. 003 T2P0. Door to Wizard U. Okay, I guess this is where the here. Let's go back to rooms. Let's go to old rooms copy. T2 T2P. I think I see what I did. Title 2. Okay. It sort of makes sense now. Let me think for a second. Title 2 P0 is actually going to be the next school, the next thing here. Now, which one is this? Finally able to ask some questions, he first asks whether the weapons in the induction process are real. The commander tells him that the Enchanted Guard must be ready at all times, and since there's not many tourists, they decided to use the night school as it was originally intended. He also tells John that there is something big going on at the castle, and that it has something to do with the closures. Finally, he mentions that it's a good thing that night school reverted to its original mandate, since now all the friendly dragons are now terrorizing small villages. Meanwhile, Hubert's devising a way to Wizard U. Um, so this was the final thing before whatever the next deal was, which would have been Wizard U, which I might could still do that order like that, I guess, if I wanted to, or I don't have to. Um, I haven't really decided. I think I've decided to keep it with John here. So, anyways, where am I at? Over here. Okay. So this was going to be Title 2, Page 0. This is back. Well, actually, I don't know. The I think I was thinking that this would start off that, but you know what? This is just the finishing part. So I think I could just go ahead and call this T20. I'll call this no T. I won't call it T2. No T2. That's right. But I'll call this page 20, right? And Wizard U is the old one. 46 Wizard U. I'll have to change that, but I'll change that eventually when I copy the next section over. Okay, so basically, I saved this, which I just did. I'm gonna. Oh, what am I doing? I messed with that, didn't I? Leave that there. That's the old thing. Doggone it. That's okay. I'll do a copy of the old rooms when I get done here in a second anyways. Okay. Okay, so really all I need to do is rename this. Rename that to 20. Page 20, which puts in the right place. I need to open this. I need to go to put that to page 20. We'll save it. And then we will we'll go to this one and we'll make it deal 20 with this. And now everything is back to where it's supposed to be. Now I can, since I renamed all these, this is actually perfectly fine here. But because I renamed the other deals, T2 P0 is going to be probably Princess Prep or the next John one, anyways. Okay. So now let's go back to what I was originally supposed to do here, which is okay. So if you see here these 3 Python scripts, now these 2 are not real scripts. They just print out a message, and this is just so when I look in the folder, I know which steps to go and I know which ones to do. Where it says manually here, I literally manually do it. Where it's just it does something, then it's an actual Python script that does it. And this is the steps I'm going to be going through from here on out. So basically, why does that still say you? And Discord acts weird to me sometimes. Let's start that back up. Let's disable that. And then let's jump over here. Okay, good. All right, anyways, okay, so the first one was manually renamed the prefixes. Before I had a 3-digit number and underscore, and then had this, and then it had this suffix here for ones that supposedly occurred in the same location, but is like a different time period, like a different page. Um, and that's the thing I'm going to change right now. But the first was the prefix. So this stands for This first number is chapter. I kind of kept the 3-digit standard um, that I had originally set, but that I've added uh, T for title or subtitle if you prefer. Um, Change of scene or whatever in the same chapter, and then page is just literally the page number, and these don't have any particular order. I mean, they're kind of just there uh, in whatever order because it can be in different orders, and because the way they connect, so it's not all linear, right? So it doesn't really matter what order these are in. Okay, so then I had to update all the prefixes as soon as I finished these prefixes. Before it was T1, but as soon as I finished these prefixes, I had it write a script that updates them all. Now I gotta manually retitle the pages, which here I'll show you in just a sec. Here, let's get these. Let's open the text editor, and so Night School Entrance. Uh, I'll come up with a unique name for this. It could still say Night School Entrance, but anything after that will be like a different type name. But so I update this label, and then I'll tell I'll tell like ChatGPT to write a script that will take the title here, the label, and update each of the IDs of both the door destinations and the actual room ID or page ID, and update it to this where the underscore stands in for space. And then when I do that, um, I'll be almost done. Like it'll rename all the files and everything. Um, yeah, I'll have it rename the files. I'll have it rename the destinations, and rename the IDs to match these labels. And then when that's done, then I'll have it write me a script that will change label to title, and will add a chapter page. And that also should be gotten by not by the title though. It'll be based on the 3-digit number here. Anyways, that's what I'm doing right now. So right now I've got to do the manual thing. I got to make sure each of these have a unique name. Some of them will have the same name because literally the same page. Because I can't go back to pages, and if I want you to try out every option, then I have to make duplicates of each of those pages so that you can do it in whatever order you want. And that won't always be the case, but sometimes I do that. So, what was I saying? Um, so some will be the same. And I'll show you what that looks like here in a second. Okay, so let's just do the thing here. Let's update the titles here in each one. Okay, so this one's Hubert instructs John to investigate night school, and afterwards Princess Prep. John eventually approaches the front entrance. Now I actually don't need this part in here. I wonder if I should just delete it now or if I should wait to delete it. I don't know. I guess I could delete it now because he already tells John that in the preceding page. So the preceding page, which is in the rooms folder, not this old rooms folder. Okay. Wait. There's something I should do first here. I just want to make sure that I'm sure, so I'm gonna go ahead and delete the copy. I'm just doing these like quickie backup here, kind of on purpose. And that reminds me something. Give me a sec here. Let's copy. Let's paste. Okay. Here instead of a blank screen, I'm gonna switch to webcam just for a quick second while I open up GitHub desktop. Okay. Rooms back up. Okay. Okay. Chapters 1 and 2 finished. Working on chapter 3. Commit to main. Push origin. Give me a quick sec. And actually, I can just minimize this. And then let me go ahead and go back to desktop. There we go. Okay, that's just in case that it popped up and that's weird. Hey. Okay. That's okay. That's just in case something sensitive popped up when I was opening that. Okay, let's go back to the old rooms. Let's go back and reopen these. And let's do the thing. You know the thing. Multiple nights, wearing badges, 2 guards at the front gate, close sign, appear as John questioning the guards. A solution presents itself. It gives them chocolate before they start to shake it off. Eventually, it's revealed to be 2 parrots on purchase. Yeah, there was a thing. I was looking at I was okay. So there's this little puzzle here that I created. Eventually, that will be in like the parser version or the final version later phases, where the guards are simply happen to be parrots on perches with the armor around them. So they're not really guards, but technically, but they serve as guards. In fact, they can move their arms and stuff. So it's like, how does that happen? But anyways, suspension of disbelief. It's just fantasy comedy, whatever. And you offer through they're both arguing, and you hear them talk about liking chocolate, and eventually you can give them a piece of chocolate, and when they do it, they basically shake all their armor off to reveal that they're 2 parrots. I think there's a thing where you're not really supposed to give in real life give parrots chocolate because they can't process it or whatever. I'm not sure if it's dangerous for them or what. I don't remember. I have to go look that back up again. But apparently, I've kept this in here though as the deal. Um, so I could change it from chocolate to something else though. But anyways, it's eventually revealed. Okay, so I can leave it as night school entrance. Uh, but this is going to be display name. It's probably going to be shown here in the thing here. So let's I forgot I can do tabs here if I want to, but that won't be that useful until I actually do the narrative pass where it's kind of a finalized deal. Um, so so you gain entrance to the night school grounds, and I want to elude without telling somebody that that's what it is or whatever. Like okay, so like for instance, if we go back in here, perfect candidate, the magic mailbox, inside the wrapper, hat magic, only half a ticket, Quicksilver list, and Quicksilver list. And that's because these are 2 of the same page, but they have the different page numbers, 5 and 6. So that's why they have, like I said, some of these will have the same, like the wonky bar, it's got 2 of them. But you actually don't even see this inside. This is mostly for me and mostly for the layout tool. But you will see the title, right? So title 1, page 0, a perfect candidate. Title 2, Page 0, the silver ticket, right? Um, Title 1, Chapter 2, Title 1, Page 0, Enchanted Dragons. Um, Title 2 is Long Lost Brothers, right? Of course, these are all page names, but you're actually going to be looking at this one. That's why I don't want to just name it Night School Entrance, because it's actually I need it more of a sentence that kind of fits. Dragon Mount, Glint, Ember, and Shade, and these are three of Chester's friends who have been enchanted, ensorcelled, you might say. Um, and that's why these are all the same, except for their actual page numbers are different. Okay, Fire in the Sky, Sky Chicken, Pull and Tumble, Sky Chase, Dizzy Dame, The Dead Drop, An Odd Flying Train, A Poor Bribe. It's like if you were reading these in a book, you might see some of these. Although you don't actually see any of these because these are the subtitle pages here, and these are just pages that don't have any title displayed. Anyways, so I have to think of it here. A novel approach. Let's see. The changing of the guard. You know, even though it doesn't have to do with the changing of the guard, it just means changing them into their back into their former selves. A changing of the guard might be good, actually. Uh, so we're gonna, yeah. Should I say a changing of the guard or a changing of the guard? Changing. And I'm gonna keep all these capitals. And so, usually, what I do is I of and the wouldn't have capitals, but because I'm gonna use this as a basis for the file name and for the actual ID, I'm gonna keep these all capitalized. Changing of the guard. Okay, that sounds good. In fact, we can say here, changing of the guard, changing of the guard, like that, and then /n so that it drops down. Okay, so that one's changing of the guard. Okay, let's go to the next one. I know it's taken so long. It doesn't take as quite as long if I'm just like doing them quickly like I did before. But if I read these out to you, so you know what I'm doing here, um, and maybe it makes it a little less boring. Maybe I don't know. Um, see, John attempts to enter the enrollment tent, but is told he needs to have a badge to enter in any tents. A knight sort of stumbles out, apparently having had too much to drink. John also numbers a number of souvenir stands with various items, including those on a badge. Hit one if you wanted to take John to take the drunk knight's badge. Hit two if you want to find a way to construct a fake badge. Okay, and this is going to actually be an actual puzzle when I get to the actual parser-based version with the inventory and the whole, the whole thing, which won't be for a while, unfortunately, because this is still going to take a long time, even if I'm doing this at a quicker schedule. Okay. John also notices a number of souvenir stands. Okay. Open enrollment. Um, uh, I don't know. I don't know anything creative. Just noticed some crown by my username in chat. Yeah. I'm not. I always thought that was the op. Oh, maybe it's because you're the first person that chatted in the chat. Okay, that's probably what it means. I guess the op, which is me, is in like yellow, like the my name is in yellow. Um, but I guess you're the first chatter, the number one chatter. I guess that's my guess, anyways. And I'm not even what I'm looking at here is I'm looking at this is OBS. It's got and this is the OBS chat, the restream chat. I think plugin or add-on or something. It's the chat window. So I'm actually chatting through here instead of chatting through the thing. Or I'm just speaking to you, obviously. Anyways, I have to think of something. I want to think of something creative that's kind of semi-ambiguous, but something that you would read on a chapter subtitle or whatever, a section subtitle. Uh, oh yeah. At least the free version lets you do two deals. So right now I'm on Big Red and Mean Green right now. I could just say the actual names of the streaming services, but I tried not to because um, each platform probably likes to think that they're the your only platform. But I mean, it doesn't really matter. Nothing's happened to me that I know of for mentioning the other for mentioning the Mean Green. But in any case, let's see here. So you need to get into the enrollment tent. Um, and I could call it enrollment because literally he's going to have to go through the process of enrolling in night school in order to be able to access any of the tents and be able to ask us questions. So, okay, so that's enrollment. Let's go to the next one. Looking at the drunk knight, John figures he might be able to easily get his badge. John talks to the drunk knight. When the drunk knight refuses to give him his badge, John seeks another way. If John could get him even drunker, then maybe he would pass out and he could take his badge. Another way is simply to knock him out. Uh, um, Considering that he's almost there, a blow to the helmet could make him sleep for hours. But what if you wish to find a way to get him so drunk he'll pass out? Hit two if you want John to find something he can use to knock him out. Okay. Let's say okay, sure. Go ahead and shoot. Yeah, I'm gonna be putting all kinds of in jokes, little Easter eggs, things like that. In fact, my one of my main characters, Hubert, the wizard Hubert, originally was named Harold, and I figured it must have been because Harry Potter was out, and so Harold was natural in my head. I didn't copy Harry Potter or nothing like that. I mean, other than he's a wizard, but so so I did that, and then later decided, too cringy. Maybe I just want to change the name. But now I'm thinking of going back to the joke, and the joke is that he has the same name as Harry Potter, but it won't say that. Why did they call it the Dark Ages? I don't know. Why did they call it the Dark Ages? Because it had so many nights. That's actually a good one. Honestly, that's a good. I don't know if that's qualifies as a dad joke, maybe, but yeah, that's yeah. I wonder if I should just also do that. Maybe we should have a character in there like tell dumb jokes like that. That might actually be pretty funny. So, I'll make a note of it. In fact, this is what I'll do. Uh, okay, I have to actually open that because it's been so long since I've looked at my note page. Recent Enchanted Lands notes, and this is just a one big file that I dump all my notes in. So uh, right now it's 250 something pages, and that's just because I just kept adding stuff. When I make something up, I just dump it in here. So I don't have any like rhyme or reason to this document. I just dump stuff in. Okay. Uh, a joke from Greggy. Let's say from I could say from Greg, from Greggy, whatever. It'll just help me remember. Uh, why did they call it the Dark Ages? Because it had so many nights. And here, I'll even put a note here. Maybe there's a character that uh, that tells these tells all kinds of jokes like this. Okay, so just okay, so I'm just saving that in there, and I might not even ever look at it, but I'll always remember it now because I put it in here. Whenever I do that, I remember a lot of stuff, and then if I don't, I can actually just kind of skim through it. Um, like a couple of other things that I had thought of. Okay, so originally his name was Harold, and so I was gonna say something dumb like uh, his name used to rhyme with like Trotter, and then of course you know that I'm talking about Potter. But then he'd say something like so I decided to change my name to avoid copyright infringement or some dumb thing like that. It sounds dumb when I say it, but it'd be kind of funny if you read it, if you watched it, whatever. So that's why I'm still even thinking about changing his name back to Harold. Um, and his first name is Halfway, and Halfway is the name he chose for himself because half of his magic was stolen. So he's known as Halfway Harold, and I've been calling him Hubert. In fact, I've been calling him Hubert a lot. Really, his made up first name is Halfway. So they might start calling him Halfway when I actually get to the actually writing actual dialogue the characters are saying. Halfway Harold, um, or Halfway Hubert. It really depends. I'm kind of used to Hubert right now because I just said it and used it for so long that I'm kind of used to it. Um, it still kind of sounds like a funny name, but whatever. I'll decide later, I guess. Um, yeah, that's a good joke. Yeah, yeah, and I probably will use it in game. In fact, maybe I'll make you a character in the game at some point as yourself, and you'll actually be saying jokes like this. I'll have to think about that for a second because I might put you as a character in the game eventually. Of course, I'm not doing anything visual right now, so you're not gonna like see yourself in it anytime soon. But I'll I'll see about inserting him. I might even insert him into the narrative pass of this. And what I mean by narrative pass is, um, if you look at the way this is worded, it's worded as a series of events. Looking at the drunk knight, John figures he's able to easily get his badge. Right? John talks to the drunk knight, and so it's just a matter of fact. This is like events. What happens when I'm completely done with this, all the pages and everything. Um, I'll probably upload it. Probably the itch.io is what I'm thinking. And I'll upload it in this version, and then I'm gonna go through each page and I'm gonna make it sound like you're reading like in a book or whatever. You know, um, a knight stumbling around outside appears to be drunk. Uh, John needs to get whatever. I don't know. I have to think of it, and when I do it, I can't think of it off the top of my head, but it'll be like you're reading a book in like third person and all that. Anyways, let's go to the next. Let's go to this one. I haven't finished this yet, have I? Okay, so that was enrollment. This one is now I can't say a way in because they're both ways in. This one he knocks him out. This one he passes out. Uh, a passed out night. Passed out. How is that? Passed out. Okay, and that's gonna be capital. Okay, and then this one. This way you can get. Okay, that's okay. Wait a second. Wait a second. He needs a badge. Oh, okay. Passed out. He's not passed out yet, though, is he? The Renaissance dad joke exams are one of the puzzles of the night school. Well, yeah, that actually sounds funny. Here, I'll go ahead and put that in my notes too. That's not bad. I actually have I got this stuff the enrollment deal. Um, can I copy? How can I copy that? What's the deal here? Let's go down here and see if it pastes. Uh, no, it didn't. Why did? Well, why didn't it? Wait a second. Wait a second. Control C. Control V. Well, that's weird. I wonder because it looks like it pasted it in there, but I can't see any letters, and it should be able to. All right. Uh, paste as unformatted text. Nope. Nope. It didn't actually copy the text. Hold on a second. I was trying to copy. I was trying to copy the text from the Restream chat window, and that doesn't seem to be working. So let me check something. Can I? Is there a way to just copy this? Copy? No, I'm not. There we go. I can do that. I can copy that. I can paste as unformatted text. There we go. I don't know what this other thing is, but there we go. Okay, and we'll go ahead and save that. I'll leave it there. Okay, so let me pull this. Okay, there we go. Everything's back to normal now. Everything's here. Let's do that. Okay. Alrighty. I'm gonna do something. Let's do take a shot of the screen. Take screenshot. I want to show you the way my screen looks. My secondary screen looks. Okay. Copy. I don't necessarily want to. Okay, we'll copy it to clipboard. Uh, where? Okay, where is GIMP? Did I? Don't I? I don't know if I don't have GIMP down here, do I? That's right, because GIMP changed to Oh, you know what? It's FG. Is GIMP even in here? Oh, since I installed Linux Mint proper, I don't even have GIMP in here. That's interesting. Uh, okay, save, fine. Now I have to pictures probably, right? Pictures. Oh, here's a bunch of garbage of pictures here. Did it save it? Where where did it save it? Downloads? I don't know where it saved it. Where did it save it? Okay, something not right. What's not right? Uh, take a screenshot. Let's take another screenshot. What happens when I hit save? Is it in pictures? from 2025. Oh, it already did show it, didn't it? Okay, I guess I just missed it. Okay, let's open that up. And I don't even know what whatever the default Linux Mint image is. Anyways, this is my screen. This part on the right here. So we can zoom in here. There we go. Uh, this is my secondary screen, which is a 1080p TV. So if you notice here, I've got OBS here, which is taking a good chunk of the screen. I've got my web browser open that includes oh yeah, that's right. It includes the Restream website. So this is the Restream website. So I have it where I can just see the number of people there right now. And then over here I've got like Discord's over here, and then IRC's down here. Well, maybe it's a nice setup. I don't know. It's actually kind of a annoying pain in the butt, especially because this is wide and I can't turn this vertically. It's just a cheapo 1080p TV. But so I have to leave it like that, and it's not very much screen space in a sense, you know. Whereas my main monitor is quite a bit bigger. Anyways, let's just close that. It's not this doesn't matter right now, but so I have all that stuff. So I'm constantly looking at the side over here. That's why you see me turn it over the side, checking the number of viewers, making sure somebody isn't chatting in the chat deal, and all that. Anyways, let's get back to this. Okay, he's not passed out yet. Uh, he's okay. So he's deciding here how to. Okay, hit one to get him drunk. Oh, and this isn't even okay. This is 3. This isn't 4. Oh, okay. Passed out. How to get a badge. How to get a badge? I don't know if that's not very creative though. Let's see. Oh, easy access. Easy access. There we go. Uh, and I'll just leave that as the deal here. So this points to Form 5, even though this is Night School Entrance 2. But now we're going to 3. Best way to get a badge. What's not right about this? Something isn't right here. I got this. This is the old one. This is the old one. Okay, where is Night School again? Oh, I don't know where it's at. Where's it at? Not. There we go. Night School Entrance. That's where we want to go. Night School Entrance. Down there. Okay. So let me check this out here. Investigate Night School. Hit one to walk past the guards. Okay. And then what's next here? Enter the enrollment tent. Needs to have a badge. Hit 1 to take the Drunken Knights badge. Hit 2 if you want to find a way to construct a fake badge. Okay, so what is that? 2, and then what's one is this? 3. 2 and 3, huh? So which one is 2? Drunken Knight. And 3. Yeah, I got something wrong here in my order or something. 2 and 3. Enrollment. Hit 2 if you want to find a way to construct a fake badge. Oh, 2 and 3. Oh, and then when I do this, he goes on to the dealy about the two ways to get to get the badge from the Drunk Knight. Okay, that's what's tripping me up. Uh, okay, so let's think of something different here. This is kind of tripping me up here. What time is it? I got 20 minutes left before I have to break. Okay, looking through, might be able to easily get his badge on. Talks to the Drunk Knight. Okay. I'll just, I don't know, I'll be pretty on the nose here. It doesn't matter that much because you won't be seeing it in game. Drunk Knight. Okay. A drunk night, a drunk night. Okay, I could do that as a deal here. Anyways, let's go to. So that's actually an okay name for this. Okay, this one is looking at one of the stands. You notice you can build a mini coat of arms by picking. Let's call this build a badge. Okay, so I have the thing where the hyphen kind of stands for in between the prefix and the title, and I'm thinking of like build a bear. I call it build a badge, which would have hyphens in it. I'm not sure if it almost doesn't matter what I name it in a sense. Um, build a badge, build a badge. I'll have to make special, like I'll have to do some manual editing after this, because I'm gonna do this in here. Build build a badge like that, and when I run the script to actually convert everything here, I'll have to make sure that I go back here and convert these hyphens like that. So it's gonna be the first. Maybe I won't do it that ways. Uh, badge builders, building a badge. Um, I'm coming up empty with creative names today for some reason. Um, eh, here, it's kind of long, but I'll just use it. A couple souvenirs. I think that I'm not sure if that's how you spell it, but I think that's how you spell it. I think this has a spell check on it, but I don't know if it has a spell check on it. Whoop. Where's okay? Where's this here? How to spell to? There we go. Souvenir. Okay. Souvenirs. SOUV. SOUVE. NIR. A couple of souvenirs. There we go. That's actually sounds like a good title, anyways, too. So that works. Looking at the stands and carts, he notices the beverage cart. Then John walks up to the attendant at the beverage cart and asks him for a flagon with a dragon of wine. When the attendant asks him for money, he just says to put just says to put it over on as he glances over the drunken knight and says off the top of his head, "Sir Drinkslots tab." The attendant states Sir Drinksalot is his best customer and gladly gives him the wine. John takes the wine over to Sir Drinksalot and he gladly takes a few gulps before kneeling over. Uh, while he's asleep, he grabs Sir Drinksalot's badge. Okay, and that's even more narrative than I would have liked, but I'm keeping it this ways, anyways. Okay, so I can simply call this Sir Drinksalot. He drinks a lot. Okay, and that actually works for that. Because he figures he just picking the name out of the blue, and then of course it so happens to be his correct name, and so he's able to put it on Sir Drinks-a-Lot's tab, which is going to Sir Drinks-a-Lot anyways. So it's not like he's it's not like he's stealing it for himself. Night school entrance 5, noticing the halberds lying down from the gate guards, because they drop them. What's funny is assuming that I continue with the kind of joke and the puzzle about the guards, is they'll be moving and standing sort of like guards. In other words, they'll be able to move their axes or whatever, and to stop people from coming in. But then when you see it in the end, they're going to each be a pair on a perch, and all the armor kind of laying about on the ground, and you're going to be kind of wondering how how were they able to actually move stuff around and stuff when they weren't actually a person in a suit of armor. So that's going to be funny when you see it, not funny when I explain it, which is the way things work here. But okay, so noticing the halberds laying down from the gate guard, John grabs the halberd by the handle and starts to drag it because it's too heavy to pick up. He then drags it over to Sir Drinkslot and pushes it over to where the handle falls into Sir Drinkslot's head, thereby knocking him out. John grabs his badge now that he's been knocked out. Okay, so and that will probably be a visual gag when I actually get to the animation, because it's going to be a deal where he tries to lift this weapon that's too heavy for him to lift. So he kind of picks it up and he drags it over, and then when he's supposed to knock him out, he'll take the handle and go knock, and it'll look funny when you're watching it again. Funny when you watch it, not funny when I say it. Probably not funny when I put it into a real full-on text adventure. But them's the breaks. Okay. Knocked out. Here. Knocked out. We'll just say that. And that's, even though it's pretty on the nose, that it should still kind of work. So I have about 10 minutes left. Maybe I can finish the rest of these actual titles here. Next, John decides to loose the vendor's horse. Okay, so this is when you're doing the souvenir thing. In order to be able to pick up some items, you have to distract the vendor somehow. John decides to loose the vendor's horse. So he quietly. What am I doing? Okay. So he quietly sneaks over the horse, unties the rope, leads the horse out, and then slaps it super hard on the hindquarters, causing the horse to rear up and gallop away while the vendor runs after it. John then picks from several of the items on the stand, builds himself a mostly accurate badge that looks like the ones all the knights are wearing. After being rejected from the enrollment tent, John looks around and tries to figure out why his badge didn't work. And he notices the night school emblem is a griffin with a mustache. Getting creative should be creative. Uh, he finds a quill pen and equal nearby, and then scribbles a lousy mustache on his badge. Much to his surprise, the guard lets him in. Okay. A griffin with a mustache. Okay, and these should be all capitals, I guess. But a griffin with a mustache. There we go. So, okay. Griffin with a mustache. Okay. Be ejected from the enrollment tent. John looks around, tries to figure out. Okay. So let's go to the next one. Uh, okay. I'm not sure why this is in this order. It's okay though. There's a fire eater nearby. That should be capitalized. There's a fire eater nearby performing for a few tourists. For the few tourists left. When John gets it in his head to distract the fire eater by shouting, "Look! Look out! Your pants are on fire!" The performer is distracted long enough to drop the torch, and it sets the Build-A-Badge stand on fire. While everyone, including the vendor, are trying to put out the fire, John absconds with a few items needed to complete his badge. Uh, when he takes the makeshift badge to the enrollment tent, they tell him that it's not official. So after some looking, he notices around the night school's griffin seems to have a mustache, so he finds a quill. And 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 this is actually the same. Uh, okay, so the one part was that I was doing two different deals, and I was going, you know what? I could write two different texts here, so it doesn't seem like the same thing. But then I realized at some point that this isn't the final version. In other words, it doesn't matter if this has the exact same text as the other one does. In fact, I might should call this one a griffin with a mustache as well, because tries notices this has a mustache. So maybe I should do the same thing for both of them, because I'm already doing the double deals here. So this just basically says it's actually the same. How to say it? It's like the same page, kind of, but because you can do them in different orders, uh, and they come up differently. Let's see here. Let's let's go back here a little ways here. They both go to page 8, right? Which is correct. This one goes to page 8. Oh, because he's got a proper badge. And the other one is when he builds a badge. Page 8, night school. That's the same way. This is... Sooners look almost like official night school badges. The only problem is that the vendor can spot you if you try to take anything. So you need a distraction. There's two possibilities. Either do something with the vendor's horse, which is hobbled behind the stand, or distract a fire eater that's performing nearby. Um, okay. Let me look at this again. Okay, so the horse. Okay, these are okay. So these are getting the badge from what's his face. This is where he loses the vendor's horse. Then he needs to get a mustache. Scribbles a lousy mustache. Okay, so these are very virtually the kind of the same thing here, which is fine. Okay, so and they'll be different mostly by um mostly by the page number and the title number and all that. So even though some of them are the same, that's anyways, that's how I work it. I mean, yeah, um, they're supposed to be the same thing. So like you're supposed to be able to do one or the other, and but supposed to do all of the things, right? So you do all of the things, but you can do them in any order, and so the same pages come up the same. So that's why they're named the same, even though technically speaking, the prefix has actually accounted for the fact that the name is the same, because really the file name is different. Okay, finally able to go anywhere he wants, John decides to start exploring the grounds, talking to people. According to some gossiping princesses, a special guest was invited to Princess Prep, but she never made it there. Recognizing John, they figure he must have been the tourist that entered the train and that the princess was on. Furthermore, the headmistress at Princess Prep has been missing for months. John decides to enter the enrollment tent. Okay, so he actually finds some info about Princess Prep a little bit, or about the princess or whatever, but he still needs to go to Princess Prep to do anything. But let's see here. Okay. Let's call this night groupies. Night groupies like that. I like that because they're kind of okay. So if you want to be a princess for a day or for a week or whatever, you go to Princess Prep. Um, these princesses are over here admiring all of the knights, or I had a thing where I was gonna do some jokes, some visual jokes. Like you're gonna have the different cliques. You're gonna have kind of like goth or emo types. You're gonna have the nerd type of knights. They'll be like wearing like knight armor with pocket protectors and glasses or something. Something dumb like that. And then one of them is the Babe Knights, and they're gonna be women, right? That are dressed as knights, but the suits will kind of look feminine or whatever. Being like pinks and purples and pastel colors and whatever. So they'll actually be women, even though typically you don't find women as knights in general. It's going to be more a part of a joke than anything. And then, of course, these princesses, though, they're over here to admire the jock knights. The jocks are the athletic type, and so each of the cliques will kind of look. They'll all have like suits of armor, but it'll be kind of like for their clique or for their group or whatever. Anyways, night groupies. Okay, that's good. Let's go next. John enters the enrollment tent and notices a single man in royal garb at a small makeshift desk. John attempts to ask him a few questions, only to have the officer stop him and direct him toward the challenge table. The challenge table is 3 knights ready to conduct each challenge. And full disclosure, I sort of copied the 3 trials from The Secret of Monkey Island, although I'm not really copying the trials themselves. I just this concept of them going to a table. In fact, if I do it right in the game, at least in the visual part, the scene will play out exactly like it did in Secret of Monkey Island, and they'll comment on it how it's like really similar to something else. Like that like they went through this before or something. And I'll just make it kind of obvious that what I'm copying, as a sort of a little in joke there. Okay, so questions. Only I have to officer stop him and direct him towards the challenge table. Okay. Um, see the challenge table. Yeah, maybe the dad joke exam thing should be a That's kind of an interesting thing. I might have to do here. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and add this here. Renaissance dad joke exam as one of the puzzles. Uh, and you can think of it like if you've ever played The Secret of Monkey Island, there's a thing called insult sword fighting, where um, instead of just slicing at each other, they offer a line like the first one was like you fight like a dairy farmer, and then of course the retort is how appropriate you fight like a cow, and so each time you yeah, no pressure, right? Uh, Yeah, and anyways, so each time that you get the correct response to the retort, because then they can ask you a question, or then they can hand you a line, and so you have to basically you have to go through it enough to learn the lines to be able to beat this sword fighter, and so I could kind of do it like that. Actually, could actually do a whole thing about like that. We're talking about the same thing at the same time. Okay, yeah. Anyways, in fact, I should just put this as a note. The exam could be similar to the um, insult sword fight to insult sword fighting in the secret of Monkey Island. Um, and then I was gonna put a thing here. This could happen. This might happen before the challenge table. Okay, I'm just like thinking of where I would put it in if I put it in. Um, I'm still saying if I put it in, I might put it in. I'm thinking about it seriously. I'm just not like dedicating to it. I might even put it in here somewhere when I get all this done. Right now, I have to. Well, it doesn't really work for this choose your own adventure setup. I mean, I could put it in there as a scene and um, maybe a few pages in there because the more choices you have, the more bigger it gets and the more kind of unwieldy it gets. So may or may not be in this version. Uh, when I get to the actual when I get to the parser version that has inventory, that has puzzles, full puzzles, I might have to wait to put it in there, and that's several phases down the line. It's gonna be a while before that happens, but I'm putting it in here on purpose so that when I get to there, assuming I get to there, oh, I spelled challenge wrong. Uh, and I don't know why this is. Oh, I see. Sword fighting is not a single word. I don't care. I'll leave that in there. It doesn't really matter. Um, okay. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah. So great minds think alike, I guess. Of course, he came up with the idea, but still, that's actually a really good idea, though, and I'll probably put that in there. Partly because I'm not really copying Monkey Island, but I'm sort of doing a little bit of tribute, homage. It depends on what you want to say. I'm American, so I should say homage, not homage, because homage is the French pronunciation. The American word is homage, not homage, right? Anyways, doesn't really matter, but um, okay, okay. So we're right. Okay, right now, challenge table. I'm just gonna leave it like that, and I gotta go for my break now. It's already 1 o'clock, and so I'll be back in an hour. I don't know if you'll still be here, but it's kind of too bad because I got 7 people on here, and I know I'm not gonna get that many viewers back when I come back. So apologies to everybody. I gotta have a break in between, and I'll still be continuing this. I won't be working on the layout tool for I don't know, maybe a week or more. Maybe until I get all of the old pages integrated and everything working. And when I start working on new pages, then I'll start adding in the programming stuff. Anyways, so I want to thank everybody for watching slash listening. And join me in an hour if you can, if time permits, if work, school, whatever permits. And I will see you in about an hour. And if I don't see you in about an hour, I'll see you tomorrow. And hopefully we might get to we might get half of chapter 3 done this week. Maybe. We'll see. So thank you for watching part 1, and please join me in an hour.